Remember that not all readings will resonate with every member of the collective. Today we have a reading that suggests that many of you in the collective are encountering some conflicts with others, disputes with others, and we're going to get into who these disputes might be. The fern alder as a tree was highly associated with Bran, the Celtic god Bran or Braun, and the fairy realm, suggesting that this is a very protective tree. This is a warrior tree. In addition to that, the alder in Irish folklore, according to my readings, was associated with the first man on earth. Apparently he was carved out of the alder tree. And what does that mean for this reading? That means that this reading has a lot to do with a very strong patriarchal male. In addition to that, this would be the letter, the Celtic or Druid Ohm letter for the fern alder tree. The fern alder tree is associated with the letters F, but also V and G and W, if those mean anything for you. This tree is all about having a backbone in disputes, maintaining a balance in those disputes. So you can't be too aggressive and you can't be too passive in order to deal with issues that are coming your way. Also, there is a recommendation to listen to your intuition and seek out spiritual guidance. This tree, as you can see, it says bridge. It acts as a bridge between people. It acts like a bridge over troubled waters. It acts like a bridge between realms, between the human and the divine. This tree is coming to you today in order to send the message that you must be resilient at this time or in the near future, that you must be patient and take on a leadership role. So when I asked about what was going on here in this reading, I picked the Gypsy card tarot. And what I've seen here is somebody has suffered a big loss. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be financial, physical, health, or it could be a romantic loss. But it does look like it gears more to finance. And then we see a widow. And this doesn't suggest an actual widow unless surrounded by the death card. So this is somebody who just feels very alone and sad right now. This might be an older female. However, I try not to attribute that quality or characteristic to this card. This is a female. So why is this female? Well, she's feeling like she's suffered some kind of loss. And the constancy card says that this has happened and occurred for a very long time. And they're in a constant state of sadness over this. There is going to be a message coming in. And then we get the jealousy card. So all these cards together suggest to me that this female is feeling very sad and at a loss over something. And as a result, they're really dwelling on these emotions. And they probably are receiving a message that the person that they are feeling sad about has moved on to somebody new. So that's why this feels as if they may have lost a family member, they may have lost a romantic partner, they may have lost touch with, their children, and I don't know why, but I feel as if this is an older female who has lost connection with possibly people in her family, loved ones, and there is a certain amount of sadness and envy over the life that they are leading now. In addition to that, I feel as if I don't know why I'm hearing benefactors, but I feel as if there are people involved who could have been a cause of this loss that she's experiencing, and that's why she is so sad, like immensely distraught, just feeling like, what happened to my life, what happened to the people in my life, all of the memories that I cherished, all the values that I cherished, and now I have to look at this. This is my new reality, and she's pretty upset about it. So when I looked some more into this reading, you see someone walking away, and we see the King of Swords, and this is where we get this strong male presence. This male presence is coming in and asserting authority, asserting ground rules, asserting a thought pattern. And because we got the fern alder tree at the beginning as a strong male presence that protects. I'm assuming that this is a male that comes into this woman's life and is kind of reinforcing reality, logic, and forward movement. And this woman, you know, I was wondering who is the person that we need to be protected from, but I feel as if this female is being guided to extract themselves from a situation that has brought them a great deal of pain. The news that they've received is not what they wanted to hear, and they have to move on. They have to move on, and if they don't choose to move on, someone's going to come in and assert the fact that it's time for them to let go and walk away. And they're going to do this in a manner that brings defense, clear thinking. Somebody is almost going to advocate for this female, and I feel like it's this King of Swords that's going to do it. This King of Swords is probably someone from this female's past, somebody from a more nostalgic period in their lives, but this King of Swords might even be one of their children. This King of Swords might be a nephew or a younger male in this woman's life who is kind of taking control and saying, no, don't be sad. It's not time to be sad. There's so many other more beautiful things to look forward to, and it's really not the time for that. Or at least you have to hold on to the old memories that were good and then recognize the situation for what it is right now and, you know, kind of move on from this. And again, we have the exchange of another message. So there's correspondence here going back and forth because we've seen a letter here in the other series of cards. There's some type of correspondence here, some type of back and forth messaging. I feel as if this female has been trying to reach out to the people involved that have made her very sad and upset. I'm feeling as if these people just don't care about her at all, possibly because they don't. Maybe she was just kind of out of step with who they are right now in their lives, or not as modern or, you know, understanding of the way these kids these days want to act and behave. That's all I heard. So, you know, I just feel like somebody's doing her really dirty here, and she's pretty upset. And these messages, they're not being met. It's kind of like somebody receiving a text message and then just not reading it, not responding to it, just not caring. And these messages, these hopes to reach out they just have not been received very well. And all people involved are going to be judged for their actions and behaviors in this mess. So maybe this female, not maybe, but this female's done some spiteful things out of hurt and also regret, I'm hearing. I don't know what she's regretting, but she's lashed out and she knows that, and she was hoping for forgiveness. But the other parties involved don't want to forgive. They don't think that they need to forgive, and they just want to be happy and they want to start new in their life. And they're going to be very defensive of this female at this point. And as a result, this female, they're all going to have to harness this energy here of, you know, having a backbone in disputes. But at the same time, we got to remember that if this reading resonates with you, that there's also a bridge aspect to this card. So regardless of the wrongdoings of the people involved, it's important to release these negative feelings in order to create a bridge between yourself and others. So I feel like this reading, if this resonates with anyone, actually addresses members of both sides of the equation. The older woman, the man who has to come in and kind of assert authority, and whomever else is involved in this equation right now. So remember, don't be too extreme in the way that you conflict, in the manner that you resolve conflict here. Kind of have a little bit of a balance. And there is a male here who's going to try and assert boundaries.